You guys notice that 1984 is real? And also V for Vendetta is real? What the fuck is going on in Britain with the Palestine Action business, man? Jesus Christ.
I've been holding a sign saying I do not support the prescription of Palestine Action. I've been arrested for having the words Palestine Action written on a sign. Actually,
like, insane. So, if you don't remember, they designated Palestine Action a terrorist group, which they're not. You know, this is Israel cuckery here. Over in the United Kingdom, they designated a terrorist group, and which means that any statement of support for Palestine Action is legally supporting terrorism over there. They don't have the First Amendment. So, I mean, you know, it's just like flatly, they don't have those protections. But this lady's now been arrested just for saying she disagrees with the law. She's not even saying she supports Palestine Action. She's saying she disagrees with the prescription of them as a terrorist group, which is not against the law. What she said is not illegal, even based on the insane law they already have.
This is a police state.
Do you think the police will be arresting journalists next for mentioning Palestine Action?
Anything's possible, apparently, in this country. I don't recognise it anymore.
Jesus Christ. The UK Tories have also talked about an ICE for the UK. This was the Tories, right? Well, they're not going to be winning anything. They did try to pad their numbers with a woke DEI hire for their resident Hitlerite. The future of neo-Nazism is black lesbian women, I'm told. You take a look at Japan, Italy, the AFD, now here. Yes, the removals force. That's right, the removals force. Where's the video of her saying... Okay, again, I need you guys to understand how crazy this is electorally. The Tories are already underwater. And their thought was like, how do we bolster our poll numbers? How do we rip people back from the Reform Party? What if we said we're going to do things just like ICE, the organization that is incredibly unpopular in America and is like 0% popularity here in the UK? Like, there is nobody in the UK who's thinking, you know what we could use? ICE. That's what we need. I've seen videos online, and that seems like, oh boy, oh jolly good. That's what's going to fix our country up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That shit is not happening, man. Who are they? Who's on their consulting team? Jesus Christ. Look at this. Where's the market for this in the United Kingdom?
Today, I'm launching our Radical Borders Plan, the toughest reforms Britain has ever seen to border laws and operations. Successive governments have failed on immigration. Labour promised to smash the gangs. Instead, in just a year, they delivered record small boat crossings, over 50,000 illegal arrivals.
I think you might be underestimating how racist Brits are. Yeah, but you don't understand, okay? ICE is insane, not for their racism. Lots of countries are as racist as America, or more. We're not unique in that regard. ICE is like the most brutal fucking federal paramilitary force in the Western world. Nothing else even comes close. Right now, everyone on Earth is watching videos of ICE, like, slamming journalists' faces into walls. They're the fucking Gestapo, okay? It's not just about the racism. Yeah, there are lots of racists, okay? That does not mean people want fucking ICE in their country.
2,000 people in asylum hotels, billions wasted. It's pure weakness. Britain needs a serious, credible plan and the backbone to deliver it. That's the Conservatives. That's our Borders Plan.
Our plan is clear and backed by expert legal analysis and serious structural reforms to deliver what the British...
Backed by rigorous legal analysis and serious structural reform? What does that mean? It sounds like you're assessing the credibility of the program, but then...
Public deserve, banning asylum claims for illegal entrants, leaving the ECHR and scrapping the Human Rights Act.
I love it when guys wear button-up shirts where you can tell that if they like moved their arms too high up above their head, every seam would rip, every button would pop, and they would be wearing loose threads.
Creating a new removals force, removing 150,000 a year, deporting all illegal arrivals within a week, ending costly legal challenges of block removals, and getting returns agreements backed by visa sanctions, so if countries don't take back their own people who have broken our laws, no more of their nationals will be allowed to come here. Only the Conservatives.
So this is them trying to pull back reform voters, but it's not going to work because, like, the Tories have just completely... for one, they're not populist, and for two, they're really, really bad at messaging.
Have a plan to deliver stronger borders.
My message is clear. If you come here illegally, you will be deported. We'll shut down the...
Also, and listen, pardon me for pointing out the obvious, but like, if your goal is to appeal to people so racist that they want to repeal the Human Rights Act and just deport people the nanosecond they enter your country, why are you pitching this to black women? Like, come on. Let's not be, like, stupid. Okay? What are you doing? If you want to do the whole white ethno-state thing, more power to you, I guess. Why are you... It's the liberal fascism thing. I mean, I guess we see the exact same thing in the Trump administration, where, like, the Department of Homeland Security is explicitly fascist. Like their messaging is unambiguously just neo-Nazi propaganda, but they're run by a ditzy Barbie lady. The FBI is run by an Indian guy. You know, it doesn't actually matter.
Asylum hotel racket, save billions, and take back control of Britain's borders.
It's not going to work. The Tories are so incompetent they misspelled Britain in their own literature. Well, I misspelled judge in my own stream title, so maybe I'm not in a position to judge. Still got it. Anyway, I really don't know how this is going to play out in the long run, optically. There are so many pictures and videos of police in London conducting arrests of people for being terrorist supporters, for holding up signs saying, you know, Palestine Action is not a terrorist group or something to that effect. Look at these two. Jesus Christ. Breaking. A blind man with a mobility cane is arrested under the Terrorism Act for holding a sign which reads, "I oppose genocide, I support Palestine Action." You can tell the cops aren't into it either. That's the real difference right now, is that the Department of Homeland Security is 100% pulling hires from, like, neo-Nazi terror cells within the United States. So all of these new hires, which is why they're wearing masks, by the way. So all these new hires are, like, lunatic, like, they're violent monsters. Like, they're barely even people, you know? But over in London with the Metropolitan, you know, I'm not saying these cops are good people or whatever, but there's, like, a totally different character, you know? So all the cops always look really resigned doing these arrests.
Anything to say, friend?
Okay, sir. Right, so we've got some bollards coming up. Yeah. So we're just going to navigate our way around this. My colleague's clearing away. We're going to take a little left here.
Take a little left here.
Excuse me.
The Met Police is incredibly bad. Suck it up. I'm sorry. Listen, we have actual fucking Gestapo agents running around the United States right now, willy-nilly. They're tear gassing babies. All right, you know what? Just. I'm dropping the international solidarity card for a second, okay? Right now, it's boohoo us, all right?
It is getting beyond a joke.
Probably pretty bad optics for the government, for the Labour Party, that all the people being arrested are, like, harmless old people, you know? Not exactly fighting with Antifa here. Police demand new powers after these arrests. What, the power to quit? Police to get new powers and crack down on repeat protests after hundreds... Oh, I read about this. Yeah. If people keep showing up and keep getting arrested, they want to double arrest you. They want to hit you with a super arrest. As part of the new crackdown, ministers will amend sections 12 and 14 of the Public Order Act of 1986 to explicitly allow the police to take account of the cumulative impact of frequent protests in local areas. Yeah, it allows them to... let's see. This will include the power to ban protests outright. In response, Tory leader Kemi Badenoch said, "What took them so long?" She also said pro-Palestine demonstrators were abusing their right to protest, and many people at the marches are, quote, actually out to intimidate Jews. That's crazy. And then you look at the protest, and it's like doddering, senile pensioners, you know? So does this mean our three biggest parties are all fascist? In the United Kingdom? Yes. Yeah, I think it has to be, yeah. The Labour Party is so complicit that they're functionally indistinguishable. The Reform Party is, like, legitimately fascist in the social and economic sense. And the Tories are trying to catch up to the Reform Party. Yeah, they're all just different. They're all just, yeah, varying. Yeah. No, Lib Dems are bigger than the Tories. Okay, well, those three parties that I described, yes, the Greens and the Lib Dems are not fascist, to my knowledge. Maybe they'll get there. Man, after seeing all the videos of the DHS arrests, it's fucking crazy how nice the Metropolitan Police are over in London. I know they're still bad. Please don't come after me. Don't send me emails. If you send me an email, I will be mad at you, and I won't read it, okay? But, like, in comparison, you know? The least violent ICE takedown is like a baby getting grabbed by the neck and suplexed over the shoulder of the ICE agent, you know? But every time I see somebody get arrested in London, it's like 15 police officers, like each with one hand on the protester, gently leading them to the van they're getting sent to, you know? Ugh. I will say that I do find these hats quite delightful. Is this actual uniform? The men have like the old bobby cap style with the forward brim and the little doof, and then the ladies have the little, what is it, like a trilby? I think that's quite cute. Certainly their uniforms are a lot less intimidating than US police officers. I didn't realize the men and women had different hats. I never noticed that before. Oh yeah, a little bowler hat, yeah. It's ironic they went full fascist like this over pro-Palestinian protesters. No, it fits perfectly. It fits, like, completely perfectly. The same way that Germany went full fascist over, like, nominally over the Jews. But the Jews weren't doing shit. They were just, like, spinning dreidel or whatever, you know? You don't go full fascist over an actual threat. That's when you're fucking... Like, the actual threat requires an actual response. You don't go fascist because you need to. You go fascist because you want to. You have to be given an excuse, you know? You want to take advantage of a sitting opportunity. Unfortunate for the authoritarians in Britain, then, that Israel is universally unpopular with every single human being in Europe. I think that the United Kingdom and America are in a suicide pact. I think that the United Kingdom is in a uniquely bad position. I think it's something to do with, like, a lack of national spirit and, like, a dying empire reminiscing about its past as, like, a final gasp of energy. I don't know. There are European countries that are in for some rough times, but have more of a future than the United Kingdom, in my opinion. Spain, France, easily. The Netherlands, any of the tiny irrelevant ones whose names I don't recall. Fuck, even Germany and Italy, probably, I would say. The UK right now feels like it's in a really bad state. But that might change, you know? Because Israel, like AI, is kind of like a bubble, right? As soon as things change enough in the United States, such that we're no longer kind of demanding national or international compliance, and all these like surveillance and military companies kind of like divest, or they move their operations, or they like try to find a new rhetorical line, that we could see a cascade basically where there's like one big turning point, and then 1 or 2 years later, like everyone just acknowledges that they hate Israel, and there's no longer this weird suicide cult in Western civilization where every single leader is like falling on the sword to defend them. I'm not sure. That in the context of these protests, unlike in America, where basically like a third to half the population will support any brutality against pro-Palestinian protesters, usually from the right. Like, the elite liberal class will do it because they're all in bed with Wall Street, and the right will do it because they despise you and like death, and they like suffering because they're demonic. But my understanding is that in the UK, nobody likes this. Literally nobody. Like, everyone, except for the people currently doing it, is distancing themselves from it. You know, like, nobody thinks it's good, but like realistically, if Reform or Tories got in power, they would also do it because they're also beholden to the, you know, even Reform voters don't like Israel. Maybe some do in like a kind of united front against Islam, but like for the most part, they don't like Israel.